We got another trailer last night at Evo, and it revealed Reptile, Ashrah, and Havik. Let's get into it. There's no trailer I'm mixed on. I mean, mostly negative, admittedly, we'll get to it. We don't have bios yet, which is fucking stupid because, I mean, Garrett, it took him like 5 days to give him a bio. So I'm not going to wait that long to do my initial thoughts here. Because you have a press release that adds some information about the characters that I feel is just kind of a summarization of what their bios are going to bring up anyway. So yeah, let's jump into it. The Banished trailer. Actually, no. The Banished trailer, right? So, fucking hell. Okay. So, we've got these 3 characters who were banished, right? Like, wow. Okay. But, like, 2 trays ago, we had Lee May, who was banished from the fucking Umgadi, or whatever the fuck it's called. So, there's another character banished. Tanya and Malia are at risk of being banished. They keep bringing up, it's like Sindel banishing people. How many characters are fucking banished? Okay, it just goes to show how they're not the same, but how repetitive these new character stories are. Ashrah seems fun. Ashrah, from a story perspective, seems like actually quite accurate. I'm kind of impressed. But someone up with her design, it must be said. But yeah, like she has a Chris, she's like trying to purify herself, and she's banished by demon sisters, which isn't the Brotherhood anymore. But I get for the sake of this, it can't be. That feels like as accurate as you could do her. It feels. So her being banished, that's like fine. The rest, it's just like, okay. That's ridiculous. Like, also, I have noticed in some photos of image of like the dragon logos with stuff in the middle at the start of each trailer, and it's kind of cool to see. Now, I don't know what's actually going on here. I don't know what's going on in this intro. This intro got me so worried that Reptile is going to be some fucking psychopath guy. I don't know why they showed this. And I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of corpses. There's some fucking Frankenstein shit going on. This might be the flesh pits, if I would hazard a guess. But then it is presumably the same place, because this looks more like the Deadpool. And why would Reptile be here? Reptile's on the hero side, so I don't feel like he's responsible for what's going on down here, I'd assume. But it's very weird to show that. But yeah, I think this is Deadpool, and I guess they're going to change it to be Reptile's lair, which, if that's the case, he literally has a lair stage, but sure, give it some purpose. If this is the Deadpool and not the flesh pits. Oh, they do just show him in there. So some guiding torch. And yeah, it's Johnny. Johnny just shows off a lot. He is so just there. He is the most just there character of this game. And he's already, like, on my skin. We saw the bait, he was already making, like, sexist remarks to Katana. It's just, it is the same Johnny personality. And that fucking sucks, right? Because it's not Johnny with any character development. It's just this immature bastard. Whoever who think they can write funny dialogue, and if you find it funny, fair enough. But Jesus Christ, it is grating. It is grating. To just have he's just the funny man of the group. Do you realize how many more characters there are that would probably be funnier? There's a lot. There's certainly a lot.
I can shift only between this and my natural form.
Yeah, let's go into it. Shut up, Johnny. Whoa. Thanks for the reaction, Johnny. Thanks, man. Okay, so I don't like human Reptile, and I feel like people who were begging for human Reptile, they're fucking stupid, honestly. Because he's called Reptile, I don't see the appeal. I know it's just an aesthetic thing, but that's such a stupid preference, I feel, because it fundamentally goes against what the character is. I don't care if he was a human at first, that's just because he was a palette swap. Don't go back to that, even though this game has been literally doing palette swaps again. Reptile isn't amongst those, and I think Reptile here actually is my favourite design of what we've seen from the non-cameo characters, which is a low bar, but I guess that's something. But I will give him praise. I will give him praise. I think this is a cool idea to blend the two together. However, it's still more human Reptile dominated is the thing. We'll see in the gameplay. I mean, you just see a lot of human Reptile. That's a good shot of him. You can really see him. And also, you get to see Baraka with the heroes there, so that's a good sign. Seeing these two with the heroes is nice, I will say. I feel like a lot of the characters are going to, at least in story roles, be decent, I'd say, because I do feel like the personalities of characters in this one. Reptile in this trailer has more personalities had in this fucking franchise, if we're being honest. Reptile has had nothing. I know, of course, MKX intro dialogues and whatnot, but Reptile was so bland in that game. So I'm interested in him. I do think he goes on here to talk about how, he was banished by his people for having a human form. And I think that's really dumb, and I think that's really lazy, because, of course, we've had characters who've also been banished, so it's just kind of retreading on the same thing. And you know, characters with similar backstories, but you are doing this actively. You are actively establishing new backstories that keep just replacing the other ones and kind of samey. And also, this is like the one game where the Saurians are still around for you. They never say the Saurians by name, and not even the press release statement it just says like some reptilian whatever. I can't remember what he said exactly, but it wasn't Saurian. But I assume the Saurians are just around now, considering he was banished from his boat. He was just banished from, cast aside. Which is just sad. Like, dude went from I want to restore my race to now he's got his race, and they've just fucking banished him. Like, that's so sad. That is not satisfying at all, right? If this was like, if the Liu Kang New Taiwan thing was so good, then he should just be like chilling with his people, right? I think that's a very dumb direction for him. But he's on the hero side. Interested in his new personality. I think there's positives here, but again, it crawls back to that thing where, this is a very different backstory. And the thing with Reptile is he doesn't even have like a concrete backstory. It's just as a terror law, and I'm fine with that being different, you know, because it would be an interesting change to see him with his people. But I assume he's banished as an excuse to not show anymore. And honestly, that's probably for the best, because Reptile's like lizard form just doesn't. It feels more like some monster form rather than actually an actual species. And again, that's why it feels like it's more human Reptile dominated. This feels like an ability he has rather than he's just a Saurian, right? If that makes any sense. Again, I'll see gameplay. He's doing some hardcore parkour here. And like, that's cool that that'll just transform between the two. And there's some sort of party going on in this trailer. I don't know what Reptile's doing, but clearly this is like some filler fight. I am curious on how much of this game story will be filler fights, because I feel like the roster is very hero dominated, or at least characters who are going to be on the hero side for a good portion. Even characters like Rain are with the heroes right now. I feel like some are going to end up as just villains in the end. I mean, General Shao. Although I feel like General Shao is set up from the start, I assume. I don't see that having a Reptile or Baraka, though, because they seem like genuinely nice people here. But that is just a thought of mine. I don't think any of the characters we've seen will be in it. I know people are saying, oh, Li Mei is going to turn on him for Onaga. No, not even NRS would be stupid enough to make that canon. No one's interested in that. It would just weigh Onaga down. And it fucking kills Li Mei's character completely. That's not happening. Not a chance. But yeah, in terms of actual villains we've seen Havik, who should even be a villain, but he's definitely going to be an antagonist. And Bihan's one who's definitely going to heal, which is why I feel like, okay, maybe not all of them are going to change. We'd have to see more dialogue from him, because Bihan is very blatantly going to turn evil, which again he shouldn't even be that. I like there's more characters on the hero side, and it feels like all of them are getting literally all the ones that should be, with the exception of Bihan and Havik, who again are like supposed to be neutral forces. Like Havik's not just like this pure evil guy. Yeah, I mean, I get to see this festival stage, and I guess we have the context for it. The quality drop. The quality dropped. How dare they? And oh, here we are, prime example. He, like, in certain move animation, turns to a lizard. And I think that's really cool, it does some cool stuff. However, again, it still feels like, oh, that's just an ability he does in animations, rather than feeling like you are both. It still feels like it's human reptile, except he does transporters. Especially when this lizard doesn't even have a design or anything. It's like a generic, like, crocodile look. And by the way, I really like that it's more in line with the Day Alliance reptile. That is the best version of his lizard self. And if you're going to do this, you're going to want to have the most lizardified reptile possible. But I mean, I guess part is because he has no clothes on, right? And I guess if it's like a morphing thing, sure, but if that's your true form, then Reptile's just naked in this game, which is questionable. Because, I mean, the clothes come and go, so it's just like, oh, his human clothes must be, like, through shape-shifting, and then maybe he has some actual clothes on uniform. Like I feel like you could have directed this in a way that's more faithful to Reptile, because this does not come across like Reptile, except for the movie Reptile, which, again, doesn't align with anything. The only thing it aligns with is Day Alliance, because that's like the full lizard, but there still is nothing like it. So I really don't like the look of the lizard. I think his gameplay looks fucking awesome regardless. And again, like seeing that it goes between the two, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea, and that means I hate bringing human reptile back less, but also his Saurian form looks like shit. So that's kind of the other issue. His backstory and the Saurian form looking like ass are like my big issue. Everything else, regarding Reptile, I don't have much complaints for. I mean, his voice seems cool, and that's not just Steve Blum. Because imagine, especially if Baraka's on the hero side, you just got those two talking, and it's like, hold on, Steve Blum's doing the exact same voice for both of them. I think the Steve Blum voice works with Baraka best as well. I feel like it's not terrible with Baraka. I think the only like reason it's kind of harmed is the fact that it's the same voice as the Reptile one, but it works for Baraka better. And it's a nice little forest there, and Ashrah is here now. Boy, I had a lot to say here about Reptile 14 minutes in. And here she's killing what I assume are demons. I think people were I saw people saying they were Tarkatans. These definitely are Tarkatans. And if you see the face of one there, like it's kind of got, quality looks like shit, but they've kind of got like the spikes on Ashrah's face. Look at this. Look at this. So, for some reason, and some god-awful reason, I don't know who decided this, but someone decided, oh, it's we want to make him not like human, like fully. We just want to give him a bit to identify him as a demon. And on paper, I think that's fine. Again, it's kind of like how they made Reptile more like a lizard. It's like, well, yeah, that's what it's meant to be. So, conceptually, that's A-okay for a redesign, I feel. But it looks like shit. I don't know what the markings are, for one. Two, the all black eyes just aren't doing it for me. And three, it's so fucking weird, the side of his face. Her face, like why is it pointy? It's skin. Why is it like pointy? What is he meant to be? Spikes? I don't get this. This is genuinely my only criticism of Ashrah. My other criticism was she didn't have a hat, but we see another costume where she does have her hat. So my only issue is whatever the fuck happened to her face. That's genuinely, I know they're very harsh. Yeah. But besides that, I think she seems fine, actually.
My sister demons were furious at my change of heart.
But yeah, she's got the Chris, which is surprising because so many characters lose their weapons or get them replaced, but particularly in this game. Like not even scoring as like a regular like kunai on a chain or a rope. He just has Kama, which is fucking wild. So yeah, the Chris is gorgeous with the Chris, and it seems to have the same lore. Although now that I say that, I hope it's not Datusha. I heard that lore's not there, but Natara's on the roster, so I don't know. I don't know what Natara's doing. Natara's one who I feel might be on the villain side. I feel like they might put her in like the General Shao group of characters, if I were to guess. I don't have any basis for that besides, I mean, the Lin Kuei stuff. They did show footage of like a vampire from episode swooping in on smoke. And that was obviously Natara. And that stuff seems to have like the General Shao group. And I'm curious on if she's a part of that or just completely unassociated. I don't know. I feel like the fact that they have Reptile, Baraka, Ashrah even, on like the hero side, it feels like they might not do that, but I don't know. Like, that's really cool, the little magic thing. I like having like the golden look for the man as well. Also, Green Skull, I thought this came from Havik, but that's a very, very much a cut. I think Quan Chi is here in story. And I believe there's a leak about how the DLC characters we know will actually plan for base roster or something at some point, and that means they're in the story. It's very confusing. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know what the source was. I just got them all Kombat leaks, and that seemed like a big thing going around. And and the suggestion is, well, they're in the story, which honestly I'm upset by, because that means we've got 3 more characters at risk of being ruined. Actually, no, I don't think Takita's in it still. I think Ermac and Quan Chi might be story NPCs for the time. I mean, we've seen Chameleon, who is a DLC cameo. So, but we do see who's presumably Quan Chi, and it's very fucking funny when we do. But yeah, here's Havik, and we waited a long time for this, boys. I'm not a fan, and I didn't think I would be. I feel like Havik's. I feel like Havik's kind of lost what he actually was through the X comics by just making him this super uber powerful villain. That was never Havik, and nor should he even be that powerful. He's just a regular Chaos Realmer, really. Obviously very skilled in fighting, and obviously being a Chaos Realmer means you get a ton of cool abilities. But powerful to that extent, I never saw the appeal of. I don't know how powerful he is in swearing. He definitely just jobs out to Ashrah here. So, yeah, and fair enough. I think Ashrah could absolutely kick Havik's ass. But yeah, and there's a Serena cameo, who I thought looked very cool, But you get a bit closer, she has the weird, like, spiky skin flaps and the black eyes. The black eyes I can do with. The weird skin flaps I can't. It looks so uncanny. If they just got like some like regular like demon horns or whatever, I wouldn't really hate it. I think the idea of showing off the demon form is interesting. Serena in her cameo, she like transforms to a demon form, which I think is interesting. They're doing a lot of shape-shifting stuff, you know, Serena, Reptile, and I think it's quite cool. Again, I don't think the demon form's that interesting, and again, you're naked, put some clothes on, but it is cool to finally see that demon form of Serena. And I believe early in the trailer, Ashrah mentions how she becomes more human or something. Whenever she, like, by purifying herself into Chris. And I thought, oh, that's a cool explanation for how she's in between. I don't like the look, but I guess that works to explain the redesign. But Serena has it too, so I'm actually going to go back. Apologies. Because I don't know I don't know if I misheard. See, look at Reptile doing cool stuff.
Ashrah, demon of the Netherrealm. I appear nearly human because I've purged most evil from my soul.
Yeah, that. I appear nearly evil because I've purged most evil from my soul. Sure. That face looks god-awful. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, the costume actually looks very good. I feel like I'd praise it more if I saw it with the hat on and with a different face. Like, but I just can't get out of the head of this costume. I know she has a costume with the hat on. I don't know if that's the same costume. I'd assume not. But I actually do really like the costume here. But yeah, it's it's not great. It's just not a great look. But yeah, Serena very much conflicts with this because if your form is in between because of the Chris, which I think is fine because actually you need a reason for her to have a human form anyway, because the Brotherhood of Shadow is no longer around, I'd assume, which is curious because Quan Chi is definitely around, so I don't know what Quan Chi's up to. Quan Chi might just be a good guy for all we know at this point. Which, if they're giving that quirky personality, I don't like mythologies. I won't really complain. I feel like that would be a fun thing. But I don't think they're doing that. But I don't know what Quan Chi's deal with, and if he's in the story, as well as Ermac, I don't know what their thing is going to be. But yeah, Ashrah, it seems very faithful. And the fact that they established that as, that's how she has a near human form. I think they should have done a human form and explained it that way, rather than give this in between, because the in between doesn't look good. And I don't think anyone wanted this. But yeah, I don't know why Serena then has it. Because does Serena have the Chris? No. So I have no clue why they then redid it for Serena. It's so annoying. It really is. Yeah, let's have it. Okay. I like his little pose when the camera comes out. And yeah, that's Serena's demon form. Kind of generic. Like a generic like imp look, admittedly. I think it looks fine though. And I think it's cool to, like, finally see this demon form that, like, you know, like, fucking, like, Tournament Edition and Armageddon would bring up. And this game, of all games, is the one that shows it off. I just think that's neat. I do think that's neat. But I don't understand a human form. I don't understand how she can shapeshift between the forms. And I don't understand how she has the same face as Ashrah, even though Ashrah is, like, through very specific lore that wouldn't work for her. And since she has, like, a new design, I'd assume she's a story cameo, I'd assume. I feel like if you're a classic variant, you just are, you're an on-canon one, but if you have, like, something different, then you are in the story. I don't know where Darius falls into that, because he has a very faithful design. Cena does too here, actually. Except, so Serena's costume is actually cool. I will say. Not a...
You will accept chaos.
Just cancelling. That's a big step up. So yeah, that's his new design actually. It is painful to look. But yeah, that's something new. Although, if that is a story scene, which I can't really tell, then I wonder why Serena's even with Havik. I hope Serena's not a villain. I hope that's not the case. I don't know what's going on. I'm not really going to question her at this time, even though I already have been. I will question this stage, however. What is going on? What is actually going on? Like, this is dangerous like the living forest. But why is it all scary? And it's got like green stuff, so I thought, oh, it's a Chaos Realm stage. But one, Havik's not even from Chaos Realm. We'll get into that. Because they retconned it. And two, why would Chaos Realm be like mirroring other realms? That's what I took away from it at first. I was like, oh, Chaos Realm might be like some Mirrorverse shit. But, I think that's the case. Also, I think that idea would be fine if it was only for part of the realm. Like part of Chaos Realm just mimics other realms. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, this comes across as like a Chaos Realm take on Living Forest. And I feel like it might just be the Living Forest at nighttime or whatever. Actually, we have a nighttime variant, don't we? I think there's... Yeah, I think it's like a third variant of the Living Forest. I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, you'll see how it's gameplay, which is actually like quite cool. The spinning torso thing rips his arm off. Serena's going to and then he beats you up, breaks your skull, and I'll be back to doing the fucking data roll, which, you know, I vibe with. Again, that's why having the folders is cool, because you can do more crazy shit. And again, like, this transition is very cool, and you saw that he goes in between. Like, for like to spit the acid ball, he just goes in between. I think it looks really cool when he's going between the forms. I just think if you focus on the lizard form too much, you realise, oh, that looks like shit. If you're going to judge by every other lizard reptile, it's one of the weakest ones. Ignore that, he just bites you. Havik's game is still very quirky, you know, rips the arm off and shit, and the corpse spin, the vomits on you. Now that is quite the callback. That's the callback to his Deception second fatality, where he eats your arms and proceeds to vomit blood everywhere. What a quirky little guy. What a goober. So I think that's very neat. I think that's very neat to bring that back in his moveset. He's just vomiting blood on you, because I don't know. He's fucking weird. That's Serena. And the Chris has got like some purple spell. I wonder if there's like, she can cast different things and they do different things, you know, with the Chris attacks. I wonder. Brings out some wings for a fatal blow, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't know what the... Oh, okay, I can tell now. It's like her energy thing. Because it's got like the bit of gold, but it's still primarily white, which I think is very good luck. I don't actually like the changes to like the characters' like energy powers or whatever. So far, like Lee May has like cool looking stuff, but I don't like how it's just purple energy. I thought like that kind of light blue like sparkler thing was a better contrast personally. But yeah, it just looks fine, and that's it. But yeah, Reptile just eats her. Again, doesn't come across like I mean, look at that. Like doesn't come across as an actual species, does he? Like, compared to Chameleon, like they aren't fucking. I'm sorry, but this guy is a fucking beast. like keep Chameleon away from him, man. Please. Okay, seriously, I hope they interact, but I don't think they will, honestly. Again, the banish law for Reptile feels like it's just an excuse to not show the Saurians. It is the characters moving away from that, but that is a major missed opportunity. When that's been a Reptile's thing for 11 fucking games, and you're not going to show it. Like, what a joke. What a joke. But yeah, that's it for the trailer. Let's check the press release. Actually, I lied because we've got more stuff and I can't even find the trailer. But yeah, some screenshots we all shared. Quan Chi, and there's another shot of him like slumped down. You can assume it's Quan Chi because the pale arms, and then the other one he has like the red paint on him. So this is seemingly just Quan Chi, just chilling at a party. Dude is drunk as fuck. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Maybe Quan Chi's like, I don't know. He's trying to like do some fucking attack on this party or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I am very amused by this. You like, just come on, just spoon feed me more Quan Chi memes. Just fucking go ahead. And he better be playable in his costume. I better see Quan Chi playable in like his like fucking party outfit. Which, you know what? That calls back to fucking Armageddon. That says, oh, his old costume, it's like an MK4 like remake costume, is like the costume he wears for fancy parties. There we are. Dude is a partying motherfucker. Dude just here to party, and they're just taking him home. That is my favorite. And also, yeah, you see Ashrah with the hat. We also got a screenshot of Ashrah kicking Havik, but I zoomed on in here. This is the same stage, it's the same environment where like Scorpion melts those undead soldiers, who we see here. And they're gathered around, they look cool as fuck, like surrounding us, and in the background, you just see the massive statue of Shinnok Samuel. This must be the Lost Tomb, or at least an equivalent of such, right? And I think this shot looks really cool. Like, I can't wait for like the free camera mod so we can like get like a really cool shot of this background detail. I think that's really cool. However, it's concerning because that with the amulet in the background, that must be Onaga's army. And why would you have that around if Onaga's not here? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've been very quiet. I feel like they wouldn't be as quiet if Onaga was actually coming. I feel like they'd want to tease that because I feel like you'd get a lot of more pre-orders if Onaga was around, because Onaga's a huge fucking deal. Like he is a big deal. He has a huge presence from Deception. Even people who haven't played Deception, they know like Onaga is a major deal. And that's why I hope he's not in the game, because I know NetherRealm cannot do him right. They really can't. I feel like it's just a tricky one because Onaga's return is so perfect in Deception. It follows the Shujinko story and whatnot. And as soon as you can't really replicate, you don't want to do that again because you can't, because you're not doing the Conquest story. So that is anything that happens with him next is just kind of lesser, right? And that's why I feel like Onaga shouldn't really come back. Just have a new villain, I feel, would be ideal for this sort of story. Especially since it's like, oh, this new time and stuff. If someone's going to be fucking up, it should be someone Liu Kang wouldn't expect. And I'm not saying like a previous, like a current character, like becomes or the main villain. Like no, that's a dumb AU shit. Oh, this does feel like an AU. Why is just a new main villain? I know it didn't go up for Chronica, but that's Chronica's fault. That's not the idea of bringing in new villains is not a bad idea. It really ain't. I still feel like Shang Tsung's the main villain. I still think it's just Shang Tsung. Maybe he awakens like Onaga at the end or whatever to get like a proper final boss, because unless Shang Tsung has like some like monster form that they just like pull out their ass, then he can't be the final boss because they need to have an NPC final boss. Because you need a character that feels like a boss, which I don't even necessarily agree with, because boy, I still think MK, but you just can't play as the bosses. Like, it's just I feel like it's kind of inevitable. But yeah, curious that the Lost Tomb is here. It doesn't confirm Onaga, but it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. I still feel like Onaga doesn't make sense to come in this game, but if we're talking about like, oh, bringing back the 3D era stuff, and they are very specific, at least for the base roster, Darius definitely isn't in this crowd of people, but they're bringing out specifically the characters who are very popular already. You know, so it's like, well, it's long overdue. You're not really going out of the way. I saw that Ed Boon tweet of, "Oh, 3DR returns." Like, shut the fuck up, Booner. You were the cause for them being absent for so long. Like look up any character on like his Twitter feed. You will find old ass tweets of him just bashing the characters. Some more recent, depending on the character. Like fuck off, dude. Actually, Like, he does not deserve praise for just, oh, now he's going to pretend, oh, he loves the 3D era, right, guys? Like, no, you neglected these characters up until you were finally getting to retcon everyone. Like, that's questionable, isn't it, huh? Everyone's happy to see fucking Havik, right? Because he's a popular-ass character who should have came back a long, long time ago. You know, like the crowd reaction for Havik, bigger than Reptile, because Havik was the most requested character in Mortal Kombat 11 outside of Mileena, and the same case here outside of maybe Smoke, and we have Smoke now. So yeah, and that's the other thing. Havik's face. He has like a skull mask on, it breaks, it seems. That might be a bow down thing, or maybe there's just a variant where he doesn't have the mask on. Regardless, he does not actually have like his skull out. Again, I can't fathom why you changed that. Now he just has a weird-ass mouth. Why would you change that? That's like an iconic part of design. I mean, he lost his other iconic part of design, the helmet thing. He just has like some shitty black headband now. This design looks like dog shit, you know? They talk about a character who is like so popular amongst all the 3D characters, admittedly just for like his aesthetics. And you're telling me you did him like this? Man looks awful. He really does, if I'm being honest. But it don't surprise me, because a lot of at least the primary costumes look like shit. I'm hoping there's a lot of alts. I'm hoping there's a lot of customization. Like MK11, because MK11, you still had something for every character, pretty much. And a lot of the default costumes sucked anyway, so I hope it's just a case of that. That's so dumb if it is, but yeah. Not a fan. On to the press release. All 3 characters, which each hail from different realms, are showcased in a new trailer entitled The Banished, complete with first look at gameplay and story elements. Reptile, also known as Size-Off. That's the funny thing. He's not referred to as Reptile at all in the trailer. He's just called Size-Off. And I saw people making posts asking who is Size-Off. People thought this was a brand new character. That is fucking hilarious. That is so funny. I feel like Size-Off's going to be... I mean, it makes sense to call him Size-Off. It's amongst the humans. Just amongst like, its allies and whatnot. I feel like we might have another noob case where they just like kind of phase out the noob Size-Off name. It's still there for like selecting a character and stuff, but in story no one actually calls him Reptile. I think we might be in for that, which... And I guess... I think I like the name of Size-Off. I think it's cool. Goes back to X, which established it in like that one random intro dialogue. Probably one of the biggest intro dialogue contributions, because intro dialogues do not contribute a lot. But yeah, he's also going to Size-Off. Is a reptiloid slave. And shapeshifter from the fringes of Outworld. We made this be a path-like substance. Reptiloid slave. I have no clue. Like, slave? To who? To who is he a slave for? And why are there slaves who can't go in your new little era? Why is there slavery? Like, there's just so many questions. And again, it's stuff like you can bring up these backstories, but if you do, then they feel like retcons, because again, this is Liu Kang's new era. Why would stuff like this even occur? Obviously, certain events are out of his hands, but like... No, like, it's too specific. I'm curious. I think Reptile is the one that we need to see followed by one, but either way, I'm not really interested in his new backstory, because he's not with the Saurians, he's banished from them, so I'm not really interested in whatever the specifics to that are. Which is a shame, because I feel like everything else seems alright. Besides the reptile form actually looking like ass. Again, I'll keep repeating that. It looks like shit, and I can't get over that. And again, I'm not even like, I'm not even sort of design person. I certainly have takes on character designs and stuff. But overall, unless it's like the MK9 women, I can like get over it pretty quick. But the lizard reptile, man, it's too weird. The Ashrah face is too weird. Havik looks like shit, but I expected that, so it actually bothers me less. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's just me, but I don't see many people like caring for like the reptile look. Other than, oh, it's cool that he transforms between the two, and I agree with that 100%. The reptile form just feels generic. That's enough of rambling about that. But yeah, Ashrah is an Netherrealm demon who has abandoned her evil-ridden ideologies and now fights with an enchanted Chris dagger in a quest to find absolution. And that is Ashrah. That is 100% Ashrah. The only thing that would be different, besides her face, is the context for her demon sisters, because I don't think the Brotherhood of Shadow is around. At least not yet. And the fact that she's not in the Netherrealm, she's not trapped in the Netherrealm, which is... So it's interesting that she's still trying to purify herself. I mean, I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense that she continued to do it after escaping the Netherrealm. But I think it's interesting how you introduce her outside the Netherrealm. And again, it kind of raises the question of, are we even seeing the Netherrealm in this game? You know, like, are there any Netherrealm stages? We might have a Chaos Realm stage for once, but I don't know what's going on a Living Forest stage. And Havik is an anarchist rebel from the oppressive realm of Sato, intent on taking down his world's regime while leveraging a unique libertarian fight style. Okay. I have some fucking opinions on this. Why would you... Why? Why would you change this? Why? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why would you not make it a Chaos Realm? There's other leaks. There's other leaks saying, oh, he was some... Havik's basically some other guy before becoming Havik, right? And a lot of people on that subreddit were like making the conclusion that, oh, he's a character that transforms into Havik, like a pre-established character. And I thought, that's a possibility, but hopefully he just goes from being regular dude to just becoming like old Chaos Realm Havik, which is still dumb. Like, just make him a native Chaos Realm. If Chaos Realm's even around at all. Maybe it's not around. Maybe that's why I did it. It's just Sato. I mean, it confirms that we're going to see Order Realm, which maybe there's Hotaru. Maybe. I feel like there's a questionable absence of Hotaru. Like, we have a Darius cameo. We saw Darius for Hotaru. Hotaru is certainly the most popular Order Realmer. Well, I guess Havik's most popular Order Realmer now. Like, that's super fucking weird to just change that. I don't get it. I genuinely don't. And again, you go back to the fact that, like, these aren't the characters I care about. This is fucking Pod Lazak. Remember him? Yeah, you don't. But, like, in one Chaos Realm, like, NPC dialogue, mentions this guy, Pod Lazak, who, like, was a Satyr guy and, like, turned to Chaos or whatever. This is just Pod Lazak. You know what? It's such a specific thing. Maybe that is who he is before he becomes Havik. He's just Pod Lazak. Maybe that's who he is. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like put the theories of, oh, he's Hanzo to bed, because I kept seeing that. And I was like, what? What are you on about? I mean, it's how like something else to do, but no. Regardless, it's still dumb, right? To completely change the realm you originate from, which, I mean, they're doing that for like every Edenian, and I mean, every character in a realm that was conquered by Shao Kahn, because those realms don't exist anymore, it seems. Sato still exists. Look at us, I guess, in that Order Realm. Chaos Realm, I don't know, and I feel like Chaos Realm might be gone completely to, since Havik's gotten this change. I don't know why you'd have Chaos Realm in that case. Which, I mean, I don't know the reasoning for. Other than, oh, we're not going to show it ever. I mean, he is the only Chaos Realm rep, and I have said before, that Chaos Realm is a really hard thing to represent in a story because you have this one character and it's just the land of chaos. What stories are there to tell in that land? It's really cool for the conquest thing, but outside that, what are you going to use it for? So in a way, I kind of get it being like not shown off much. Although I do feel it's kind of lazy for the X-Comics to have Havik around and not show his home realm. But I think erasing it altogether is fucking ludicrous. You can't just, you can't just do that. It's insane how they can just casually change the realm you originated from. And why would that be the case anyway? Again, it doesn't make sense. It's not like Liu Kang wouldn't make these specific changes. So none of these changes are justified. They are retcons. Because the context of his new time is Liu Kang has changed events in the Hourglass. So how the fuck does a Satan become Havik? Like when did he decide on that? Because he definitely didn't. So in that case, how does that occur? And also, Anarchist Rebel. The Satan resistance exists. This is just Darius. This is just fucking Darius. And look, what? What is going on? Maybe that's why Darius is around, because he's fucking eyes of Havik. Which, it would apply to the original law, but, I mean, they don't mention the Satan resistance here, but what Anarchist Rebel, like that's what the Satan resistance is. Not anarchists, but, like intent on taking down his world's regime. That is just Darius. That is literally just Darius. You've taken Darius' law. And I bet everyone is going to be like, oh wow, what a new, original, and creative direction for Havik, guys. That is literally Darius' law. That's what pissed me off the most. You have changed this character, you've retconned this character to give him the law of another character who is in the game. It is lazy, it's inexcusable. Like, there is no actual positive to this. If these, because the whole thing of, oh, these changes for the better. How exactly are they for the better? They've simplified the law, which was unnecessary. Because you don't need that. You don't need simplistic, like, law and stuff. And if you are simplifying it, that just means you're making things more generic. That means you are removing things. None of that benefits anything. But, like expand the law. Don't fucking, you've got 30 years of history here, and you're undoing 90% of it. And we're supposed to get behind that. No fucking way. Havik's an absolute butchered here, 100%. It is stupid, and I expect very low things, but I at least expect him to be a fucking Chaos Realmer. Jesus Christ. So then I wonder, are there any other Satans then? Always decide, or is this just some backstory bullshit that I'll just casually mention in his bio and won't even be plot relevant? Oh my god. Also, explain why, I'm sure they will, but like, when like the Chaos Realm thing, I assume that's just like some fucking, and that's probably another disease. That feels like it's just another disease looking at him. But oh my god. Why? I don't get it. I really do not. Why you just give him Darius's law? That makes no fucking sense to me. That is brain dead. And we've got a missing character slot, and there's so much copium about how it's Sonya or Kano. Because, we gotta have the MK1 characters. And because people think it's a 25 card roster. It's 24, mate. I mean, it might be 25, there might be like a hidden slot, but I don't see why the beta would have an inaccurate amount of slots. Like, again, I've said countless times, it feels like there's supposed to be more cameos. I think there's only one unknown cameo left, and that doesn't sound right, does it? So, but I still feel like that's the correct amount of slots. I don't think there's going to be more outside of what the DLC adds. But yeah, it's strange. It is very strange. And yeah, I don't think Sonya and Kano are being added, because why would you show them off in the first trailer as cameos? That feels like getting that out of the way. I mean, I would have picked one, I'd pick Jax. I wouldn't even pick Sonya or Kano. But yeah, I feel like there's one slot's free, and maybe it's Hotaru. that's the one I can think of. That makes sense. Like Kintaro, maybe Kintaro's one that feels like he should return, but I don't see it happening. I feel like we know about it by now. Again, it's just so weird to have one specific character that isn't leaked. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it is Onaga. Fucking hell, I don't know. I mean, if Onaga comes back, he's not going to be playable. If I were to guess, he'd just be the boss, which, again, that doesn't interest me for a character who's been gone for so long to come back as just the NPC boss. Because the boss fights in the NRS games fucking suck. They are so interesting. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe the bios provide more insight, but good lord, it's not looking good for Havik. Ashrah, again, fine. I know I've ragged on her face, but literally besides that, I think there's been nothing bad shown except, oh, she doesn't have the Hound, but she has the Hound in other shots. Reptile, again, I have mixed thoughts on. I don't like the new backstory, whatever the hell it even is. And while I like the idea of him shifting between the two forms, it feels like only the human one's actually around. The reptile form just feels like a power more than, oh, it's my true form. It's my animality. Pretty cool, huh? And Havik is fucked. Havik in the gameplay looks good. That's my one positive Havik. They've kept the creativity of what his movesets can be. And there's torso spin, so if he has other specials, I don't know though. But yeah, I'm just, I'm done. I really, really am. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Reptile gets something out of this. I feel like even with the new backstory, I feel like this is going to be a step forward for Reptile. That's my hopes. So yeah, that is about it. One cameo slot and one unknown characters to our maybe they sprinkle in some more. The one unknown, I feel like Fire God Liu Kang has to be a cameo for the story. I mean, we've literally seen footage of it set up where Li Mei's going to fight Reiko. Matara's in Reiko's corner, Liu Kang's in Li Mei's corner. So if there's probably a Liu Kang cameo, it's probably not even like the classic Liu Kang, because it has to be the Fire God one for the sake of story. I feel. Which again, it feels like there's got to be more cameos if there's cameos in all the story fights. So I'm really not sure what's going on with that. Maybe there is a lot more. And I feel like that there's supposed to be. Not like too much more, because it seems like it's going to be less than the base roster, since the cameo DLC is less than the main character you get. I'm just very curious. We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. But I feel like Hataru is going to be one of them, just because Darius is here now. Havik's a Saiyan. It would be weird to not have Hataru, who is the most popular of the Saiyans. Because Hataru just about falls into like this group of characters who are very popular 3D ones. Natara, Ashrah, Havik, Li Mei. That final slot, I think it should go to a 3D character regardless. I think if it's just, oh, actually Sonya was playable along, that's going to be fucking underwhelming. Even though I feel like there should be a Special Forces rep. Like, you can't just leap from having him be very prominent in 2 games to, we're giving him a break. I wouldn't mind that, but you can't just, like, make that sudden leap. And also the problem is the Special Forces. It's the Special Forces. They should be around a lot. Although it does seem like we're going to a lot of other rounds. I mean, most of the footage we've seen seems to be Outworld, so I don't know. But yeah, that is it. That's my rambling done. Got an hour here. But yeah, I mean, there's some positives. But I think the bad outweighs the good in this scenario. But this one does feel like a mixed bag of a trailer. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.